Let's learn how to make an easy Christmas cupcake topper with your Cricut machine. These holiday cupcake topper flags for Santa's North Pole Bakery combine Cricut cuts and Cricut pens to make mini signs perfect for the cupcakes at your holiday party this year. I'll guide you step by step on setting up this project in Cricut Design Space, using Cricut pens with your machine, and assembling these cupcake toppers. Hey friends, my name is Tara from CrafteraCreates.com. My goal is to help you master your Cricut machine through teaching you how to make cake toppers and paper crafts. If cake toppers are new to you, then I invite you to grab my free beginner's guide to Cricut cake toppers for answers to common questions and everything you need to get started crafting beautiful cake toppers. Alright, let's review the tools and materials you need for this project. For this project, you will need a Cricut machine. I am using a Cricut Maker 3, but you can use any Cricut model for this project. You'll also need cardstock. 12 by 12 cardstock shop sent me 1 pound bundle full of lots of cardstock to try out. The colors are gorgeous and I can't wait to try them all. I settled on a sheet of white heavyweight cardstock with a smooth finish and a subtle shimmer on both sides. 12 by 12 cardstock shop also sent me several other specialty cardstock sheets, and I love these sequin glitter sheets. I'm excited to find the perfect project for these. Next, you will need a stick of some sort. I chose a red striped paper straw for a candy cane look. You'll also need a Cricut pen. I used a black thin tip pen. I also used a narrow double-sided tape for this project, but you could substitute this for glue. And lastly, I used double-sided adhesive foam, specifically the extra tall sized tabs. All the materials are linked below for you in the video description. Prepare your easy Christmas cupcake topper in Cricut Design Space. Jump over to Cricut Design Space and open a new canvas. This project comes with a free cut file, so let's get it uploaded. Click on the Upload tool on the left side of the window, then click on the Upload Image button. Once you have the zip file, which has the cut file inside, double-click it to unzip and open the folder. Inside the folder, you will find the license and the cut file. The cut file starts with the letters SVG. You can select the file, then drag and drop it into Cricut Design Space like I'm doing, or you can click the green Browse button to search for the cut file that way. In the Prepare to Upload screen, the image of the cut file renders a little bit weird. The font shows up looking odd, but don't worry, it's all there. Trust the process and click on the green Upload button. In this upload screen, you have a better look at the cut file and it looks like it's supposed to, so go ahead and select it, which will put the green box around it, and then click on Add to Canvas. And here's the design for your Christmas cupcake topper. If you'd like, you can double check the size here. I have it at 2.6 inches wide. I wouldn't go larger than that unless you have a really big cupcake, but you can definitely size down a little bit on this if you have like smaller size cupcakes. The first thing I'm going to do is ungroup this project because I want to make some adjustments to it. I have it in here as the color gray, but I'm actually going to go ahead and cut this in the color white. So I'm selecting all of the background shapes and I'm changing them to white. Also, I need to change the text. So I'm selecting all 3 of the text and I'm changing those to pen so that these are drawn. The pen function tells the Cricut machine to draw these with a pen. I purchased this font from Creative Fabrica, but a similar Cricut font is BFC Autumn Woodland using all caps. The next thing I need to do is attach the text to the shapes that I want the Cricut machine to draw on. To make this a little bit easier, I'm going to hide the background image, which is kind of the full base of the project, by clicking on the little eyeball next to the image layer. Then I'm going to highlight the shape and the text and hit attach down on the bottom. I'm going to do each of these one at a time so that they all attach to the correct shapes. I'll click attach again and then select the last one and the text and then hit attach one last time. Okay, so the text is attached to each of the shapes. I'm going to unhide the background image and now everything is ready. Select the whole thing and then click on group. This keeps your project all together so you can move it around easily. I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this design. And I'm going to add one more, so I'll duplicate it again. So now I have 3 Christmas cupcake toppers ready to go. And if you're ready to send this to your Cricut machine, go ahead and click on the Make It button at the top right of the screen, and this will send your project to your Cricut machine. On the Prepare Matte screen, you can see your image, Because we used all the same color, it's all showing on one mat. Here you can change around any of the shapes so that it fits better. I'm going to take this little north banner and move it to this side. You can easily rotate things in this view before you move it onto your Cricut machine. Next, I'm going to show you real quick how to browse for material settings. Click Browse on Materials, then click on the categories Cardstock. And here you can select through a variety of different material settings. I'm going to select Heavy Cardstock, so click on it and make sure the little check is next to it. After you have your material settings set, click the Done button to move on. And as you can see under the step 2 here, the Load Tools and Materials, you'll see that in Clamp A, the Cricut machine is expecting a pen. And in Clamp B, the Cricut machine is expecting the fine point blade. So let's go ahead and jump over to our machine and get that ready. Let's cut out your project with your Cricut machine. Okay, I have my Cricut mat here. This is a fairly new, pretty sticky blue mat. And I'm going to add my heavyweight cardstock. This doesn't show how beautiful this cardstock is. It does have a slight shimmer to it, a little bit of sparkle. It's subtle though, so it's kind of hard to show up on video. I went ahead and used my brayer to make sure that the cardstock was well adhered to the mat because the material setting we selected actually does 2 cuts. So I want to be sure that the cardstock doesn't shift around after the first cut. So now's the time I'm going to open my Cricut pen. I'm going to open up Clamp A and push it down. It clicks into place and then close Clamp A. The machine will not stop between the pen drawing and the cutting because it can do both at the same time. Here we can watch our Cricut machine draw all of our text. Next, the Cricut machine is going to cut out all the shapes. Again, I mentioned before, but this cut setting, which was heavy cardstock, does 2 passes on the cuts to be sure it cut all the way through. And then to remove the pen, open up Clamp and pull it out gently and close Clamp and you're ready to go. To peel off the cardstock, you turn over the mat and peel back your mat, pushing down the cardstock to the table so that it remains flat. I like to use my Cricut spatula for this. All right, we've got all of our pieces cut out and we used all of that little sheet of paper. So I'm just going to organize everything and put everything upwards. I will mention that for the Cricut pens, sometimes I'm a little disappointed with them because they have a tendency to smear on specialty paper. So I try not to rub them with my fingers. They are dry, it's just that the oil in your fingers can sometimes rub the ink and smear it a little bit. So I avoid trying to touch them. Let's go ahead and move on and get this project assembled. Time to assemble your easy Christmas cupcake topper. The first thing you want to do after you have all of your pieces cut is to lay everything out and dry assemble it. This is actually really important for this project. It's really easy to get confused on which side is up or down, especially if you have cardstock like mine that looks exactly the same on the front and the back. What you're looking for here is that the little banners with the text fit perfectly in their spots on the banner. If they don't and they don't quite line up, that means the base banner is not in the right orientation. So try moving it around a little bit so that the text banners fit perfectly in their spots. They should line up perfectly. The first thing I'm going to do is get a strip of the double-sided tape. This is just plain flat tape that's double-sided. So I'm putting a strip right in the middle. Alternatively, you could use glue here. I would be careful using hot glue because I wouldn't want it to seep out on the sides where you could see it. An advantage of using paper straws is that they are easy to trim down to the size you need for your cupcake. After the straw is adhered well to the base of this little flag, grab your double-sided adhesive foam tabs. Here I'm using the extra tall ones. If you do not have extra tall ones, I would recommend taking 2 and doubling them up. The goal of this is to add foam that is roughly about the thickness of the straw or the stick that you are using on the inside, so that when you put the banner with the text over top, it goes across nice and straight and doesn't get bent inward. So add foam all around the little edges here. I did 2 on each side of the straw for the banners with the text. Remove the backing sheet of each of the foam tabs to expose the adhesive. I like to use my weeding tool to lift up the backing sheets, but you can use your fingers as well. Then place the banners with the text right over top of their spots. on the cupcake topper. I really love how you can see the red striped straw through the inside down in the center of this little flag. These charming holiday cupcake topper flags for Santa's North Pole Bakery are so adorable and super easy to make with your Cricut machine. With these little flags poking out of the snowy white icing, they remind me of my favorite Christmas movie, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Let me know in the comment section what these Christmas cupcake toppers remind you of. Thanks for hanging out with me today, and happy crafting, everyone!